Welcome to the deep dive. I'm Saul.
And I'm Elia. We're AI, not people, but we do enjoy thoughtful conversations.
We certainly do. And today, we're embarking on a really vital deep dive, I think. It's into something often overlooked, yet it's so fundamental to our mental well-being, our confidence. We're talking about embracing your strengths. We're exploring an incredibly insightful Ava Mind blog post. It's titled Embracing Your Strengths, Discovering and Celebrating Your Unique Qualities. And honestly, it's packed with practical tools, but also some surprising insights that really challenge how we usually think about self-improvement, don't they?
They really do. What's fascinating, I think, about this blog is how it just cuts through so much of the noise, the societal pressure, that internal chatter that's always telling us what we need to fix about ourselves.
Right.
And instead, it offers this, kind of radical perspective. It's healing, actually, focusing on what's already powerful and right within you. It's such a shift away from that deficit mindset we often get stuck in.
A deficit mindset. Yeah, that nails it. So our mission for this deep dive today is basically to extract those really potent nuggets of knowledge from the blog. We want to peel back the layers of the psychology behind why we so often overlook our own amazing capabilities. And then crucially, equip you, our listener, with truly actionable strategies, things you can actually use to rediscover, re-engage with, and ultimately, celebrate what makes you uniquely you.
Think of it as a pathway, maybe even a shortcut, to building that authentic self-esteem, the kind that lasts.
Exactly. Durable, lasting confidence. So let's get started.
Aye.
The negativity bias. Why we overlook our strengths. Okay, so let's unpack this right from the beginning. Why? Why is it that, despite all our genuine efforts, sometimes self-help books, courses, therapy, maybe we still often completely miss or downplay or even just dismiss our own strengths, the blog hits us right away with something fundamental, doesn't it? The negativity bias.
It does. And it's so important to understand, this isn't some personal failing. It's not a character flaw you need to beat yourself up about. This is deep-seated. It's evolutionary wiring in our brains.
Right, survival stuff.
Exactly. For thousands and thousands of years, our survival literally depended on being able to quickly spot threats, flaws, dangers in the environment. Missing that rustle in the grass could be, fatal.
Yeah, game over.
Pretty much. So this hardwired mechanism made us incredibly good at spotting danger, potential problems. But in our modern world, where, saber-toothed tigers aren't really an issue for most of us.
Hopefully not.
Haha, right. It often manifests as this relentless inner critic, that voice that consistently highlights imperfections, shortcomings, weaknesses. Our brains are just, kind of by design, more tuned into problems than positives.
It's a biological default setting almost.
You could say that. It's a predisposition, not a personal failing. That's key.
But it's not just biology, is it? I mean, the blog really points out how society, our culture, even our institutions, maybe without meaning to, have piled on and reinforced this bias.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the education system, for example. When you got that report card back in school.
Oh, I remember those.
Right. What was the main focus? Usually it was the areas for improvement.
Yep, needs to try harder in.
Exactly. Where you needed to buckle down, what subjects you struggled with. It was rarely this glowing highlight reel of your inherent gifts, your natural curiosities, your unique talents. The emphasis was almost always on filling the gaps, not amplifying what was already brilliant.
That's so true. And then you move into the workplace.
Prime example. KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. They often dominate everything.
The quantifiable stuff.
Precisely. You're measured often almost exclusively on output, on hitting targets, on what can be easily documented and checked off. And this can completely overshadow or even ignore those intrinsic character strengths.
Like resilience or creativity when things go wrong.
Exactly. Resilience, genuine creativity and problem solving, that collaborative spirit that makes a whole team better. These are often harder to measure, so they get overlooked. The focus becomes what you produce, not necessarily who you are or how your unique qualities contribute. It fosters this feeling of constantly being judged on deficiencies.
And the blog even suggests that historically, even within, say, therapy or the self-help world, there's been a tendency to focus too much on what's wrong.
Yeah, diagnosing problems, identifying deficits, trying to fix things, rather than maybe starting from, okay, what's already working well here? What strengths does this person already have that we can build on?
It's a powerful cultural narrative we absorb almost unconsciously, isn't it?
It really is. And it raises that crucial question. If our systems, from childhood right through adulthood, are constantly pointing out flaws, how can we realistically expect ourselves to fully recognize, let alone embrace, our strengths.
It makes it incredibly difficult.
It does. And the blog highlights this finding from the VIA Institute. They're leaders in positive psychology research. They found that a staggering number of people are either completely unaware of their core strengths,
Completely unaware. Wow.
or they significantly underuse them in their daily lives. It's like,
Right.
well, the blog uses this great analogy.
The toolkit you never open.
Exactly that. You have all these incredible resources inside you, maybe curiosity, perseverance, humor, kindness, but you either don't know they're there or you just don't know how to access them or use them effectively.
It's like trying to build a house with half your tools locked away.
Perfect analogy. You keep thinking you need to buy new tools, never realizing you already have what you need.
So the big takeaway for you, the listener here, is this isn't your fault.
Not at all. It's not a personal failing, not a lack of ability. It's a common human tendency, a societal bias that's been reinforced for years. And just understanding that the biology, the cultural reinforcement, that's the first vital step to overcoming it.
It's shifting your perspective, moving from what's wrong with me to
To what amazing resources do I already have right here? It's about starting to consciously open that internal toolkit. 2, defining strength beyond the conventional.
okay, so we get why we overlook them, the negativity bias, societal stuff. But what exactly are we talking about when we say strengths? Because the blog is quick to point out it's way more than just, skills for your job.
Yes, this is such a common mix-up, and it's really important to clarify. If you ask someone, what are your strengths, their mind often jumps straight to professional skills.
Like, I'm organized, good communicator, creative, good with spreadsheets.
Exactly, and those are valid. They're important skills. But the blog really emphasizes that for deep mental well-being, for that lasting confidence we talked about, we need to look deeper, much deeper.
So definitely not just resume buzzwords. The blog introduces this concept of character strengths, drawing from positive psychology. How are these different?
Think of character strengths as core parts of who you are. They're integral to your identity. Unlike skills, which you can learn and maybe forget, these are more like intrinsic qualities, your fundamental ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving that benefit you and often others too.
The essence of your authentic self.
That's a great way to put it. And they have a profound influence on your mental health, your resilience, your overall well-being. The blog breaks them down into 6 main virtues or categories.
6 categories. Okay, let's dive into those. They help paint a clearer picture. First up, wisdom and knowledge.
Right. Under wisdom and knowledge, you find strengths like curiosity, that drive to explore, learn, ask why.
The person who always wants to know how things work.
Exactly. Or the person in a meeting who doesn't just accept the status quo, but asks, what if we tried this differently? Then there's creativity. Thinking outside the box, finding new solutions. Not just for artists, it's the engineer finding an elegant fix, the parent inventing a game. You've also got judgment, critical thinking, weighing evidence, making sound decisions. A real love of learning, that lifelong thirst for knowledge beyond just school. And perspective, seeing the big picture, offering wise counsel, understanding different viewpoints.
So these are all about how you engage with information and ideas.
Fundamentally, yes.
Yeah.
How you acquire, process, and wisely use knowledge.
Okay, next category, courage. Seems straightforward, but what's the character strength angle here?
Well, it's much broader than just physical bravery, though that's part of it. It includes bravery in the sense of standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular, speaking your truth.
Facing fears, basically.
Yes. Then there's perseverance, that grit, that tenacity to stick with things even when they're hard or boring, not giving up easily.
That's a big one.
Huge. Also, honesty, living authentically, being genuine, and zest, approaching life with energy, enthusiasm, excitement, bringing that vibrant aliveness. So courage is really about exercising your will to face challenges and achieve goals.
Got it. Then humanity. This feels very relationship-focused.
It is. It's all about tending to and befriending others. It includes kindness, compassion, generosity, thoughtfulness, often shown in small, everyday ways.
Just being decent to people.
Essentially, yes. And love, valuing close relationships, cherishing those bonds, and social intelligence, being aware of feelings and motives, yours and others, navigating social situations with empathy and grace.
Understanding people.
And connecting with them meaningfully.
Okay, moving on to justice. How does this translate to personal strengths?
Justice strengths are about building healthy community life, even on a small scale, like your family or workplace. It includes fairness, treating people equitably, impartially.
Without prejudice.
Right. Then leadership, organizing, and motivating a group towards a common goal. Not necessarily being the boss, but inspiring action. And teamwork, contributing well to a group effort, collaborating electively.
So strengths for working together harmoniously.
Exactly. For a healthy civic life, you could say.
Next, temperance. This one sometimes sounds a bit restrictive.
Huh? Yeah, it can sound that way, but it's really about moderation and self-regulation. Protecting against excess includes forgiveness, letting go of resentment, pardoning others, choosing healing.
That takes strength.
It really does. Also, humility, letting your actions speak for themselves, knowing your limits, not needing the spotlight, a kind of quiet confidence. Then prudence, being careful, thoughtful, exercising foresight, avoiding rashness. And self-control or self-regulation, managing impulses and emotions to achieve longer-term goals.
Inner discipline and wisdom, basically.
That's a good summary.
And finally, the sixth virtue. Transcendence sounds quite profound.
It is. These strengths connect you to something larger than yourself, providing meaning, purpose, awe. It includes appreciation of beauty and excellence, noticing and valuing beauty, skill, talent, whether in nature, art, or human action.
Taking time to notice the good stuff.
Exactly. Also gratitude, being deeply thankful for the good things, fostering abundance, hope, expecting the best, believing in a positive future, working towards it.
Especially important in tough times.
Crucial. Then humor, seeing the lighter side, laughing, bringing joy, playfulness. And finally, spirituality or sense of purpose, having beliefs about meaning, feeling connected to something sacred or universal.
Wow, okay. That's a really comprehensive framework. It goes way beyond just, I'm good at my job.
Miles beyond. And the critical point the blog makes isn't just listing these, it's the transformative power of actually using your top strengths regularly.
Right, it mentions the research by Seligman and Peterson.
Foundational work. They discovered that consistently applying your signature strength leads to tangible benefits. We're talking improved well-being, definitely. More engagement in work and relationships.
Less anxiety and depression?
Measurably so, yes. Reduced symptoms,
Yeah.
and higher life satisfaction overall. It's not just a quick fix. It fundamentally builds a more resilient and fulfilling life.
So this isn't just about feeling good momentarily. It's about building a really robust foundation, anchoring yourself in what's inherently good and strong about you.
Precisely. It's about building from the inside out, leveraging your core self to create a better reality.
And the blog gives a practical tip right away, doesn't it, for the listener?
It does. It mentions that within the Ava Mind app, you can actually ask Ava, help me discover my character strengths. It's a direct, interactive way to start this exploration for yourself right now. 3. The echoes of the past. How childhood and culture shape our strengths.
Okay, this is fascinating. So we have these inherent strengths, these character strengths, but we often overlook them due to bias. But the blog digs even deeper into something really thought-provoking. How our past, our childhood, our culture can actually shape and sometimes even silence which strengths we recognize or value in ourselves.
This is such a crucial piece of the puzzle and often missed. Our early environments, family dynamics, school, cultural norms, they act like soil for our strengths. They can either nurture them, help them grow strong,
Or inadvertently suppress them.
exactly, make them go dormant, or even make us feel like there's something to hide or be ashamed of. It's not about blaming our past, but understanding its subtle, powerful impact on how we see ourselves now.
The blog uses some really clear examples, like a child praised mostly for being quiet and good.
Right. In that scenario, maybe your natural creativity, which might have been noisy or messy or unconventional, got overlooked or subtly discouraged. So you learned to suppress it.
Or the cultural emphasis on humility.
Yeah, if drawing attention to your achievements is seen as bragging, you might learn to downplay your leadership skills. Even if they're really strong and obvious to others, you might feel uncomfortable owning them.
And that example of the helper child, that really resonated.
It does for many people. Being the helper builds incredible strengths, resilience, empathy, responsibility, absolutely. But it can also make it incredibly hard to set boundaries later on.
Because you're so used to putting others first.
Precisely. Your needs get sidelined. And maybe that strength of kindness starts to feel like a weakness if it leads to burnout or resentment, because you haven't learned to balance it with self-care. These patterns run deep.
So this suggests that strengths work isn't just about making a list. The blog says it's more like healing your relationship with parts of yourself.
That's a powerful way to frame it, isn't it? It's about reclaiming parts of your authentic self that might have been hidden, dismissed, or discouraged along the way. parts that didn't fit the mold or weren't valued in your environment.
It makes you wonder how much of our true self, our real capabilities, might be buried under layers of learned behavior or expectations.
It's a profound question. What we see as weaknesses might just be strengths that weren't allowed to flourish, or maybe they were just expressed in ways that weren't understood or appreciated at the time.
The blog offers a really potent journal prompt here for listeners to explore
It
this.
does, and it's worth sitting with. What strengths did I have as a child before I learned to edit myself?
Wow. Before you learn to edit yourself, that goes deep.
It's an invitation to reconnect with that unfiltered, authentic core, to excavate those qualities that might have been overshadowed but are probably still there, waiting. 4. Practical pathways to discovering your strengths.
I love that idea, getting back to the unedited version. So, okay, we realize we've overlooked things, maybe even suppressed them. How do we actually find these strengths now? The blog lays out some really practical pathways, acknowledging that, yeah, most of us weren't taught how to do this.
Exactly. These exercises are designed to shift you from that state of unawareness strengths as hidden treasure to active discovery. They provide structured ways to uncover qualities that might feel invisible because they're just so natural to you, or because other narratives have drowned them out.
The first one is about reflecting on high point moments. Sounds positive.
It's a wonderful method. You deliberately recall times when you felt genuinely proud, energized, alive, really in your element. Not necessarily huge achievements, just moments of authentic flow and alignment.
When things just clicked.
Right. And once you have a few moments in mind, you ask yourself some guiding questions. What specific strengths was I using then? What core values were guiding me? What feedback did I get from others, even small comments?
And the key is looking for patterns across those moments, isn't it?
That's crucial. If the same strengths, like maybe problem solving or kindness or perspective, keep showing up in different positive memories, that's a very strong clue. Those recurring themes point towards your core signature strengths.
The threads that run through your best experiences.
Exactly. They show what truly energizes you, where you naturally excel, and often where you find meaning.
Okay, the second exercise is the reflected best self exercise. This one involves asking other people for feedback, which can feel a bit vulnerable.
It can, definitely, but it's incredibly powerful, precisely because it bypasses our own negativity bias. It gives you that invaluable outside perspective.
So how does it work?
You ask a few trusted people, friends, family, colleagues, who've seen you operate well. A simple question. Can you tell me about a specific time you saw me at my absolute best? What was I doing? What qualities stood out to you?
And you just listen.
You just listen. And you listen for themes. What words or qualities keep coming up from different people? Maybe they consistently mention your calm presence, or your sharp insights, or your humor, or your strategic thinking.
Things you might totally take for granted in yourself.
Often, yes. Because they feel so natural to you, you don't even register them as strengths. This exercise holds up a mirror reflecting aspects you might not see clearly yourself. It can be incredibly affirming and eye-opening.
I can see that. And finally, the blog recommends a specific tool, the VIA Character Strengths Survey.
Yes, the VIA survey, it's fantastic. It's free, widely used, research-backed. It takes about 10-15 minutes online, and it gives you a ranked list of all 24 character strengths from your top ones down.
So you get your personal strengths profile.
You do. But, and this is the critical bit, the blog stresses, don't just look at the list and file it away.
The reflection part again.
Exactly. The real value comes after you get the results. You need to sit with it. Ask yourself, okay, which of these top strengths do I use naturally all the time? Which ones on this list do I tend to hide or maybe even see as a negative? And importantly, which strengths have reliably helped me through tough times in the past?
So it's about connecting the abstract list to your actual lived experience.
Precisely. It's about integration, turning those labels into a living, breathing understanding of how these strengths show up for you day to day in challenges and relationships. That's when it becomes truly meaningful self-awareness. V, a real-world illustration, Sam's rediscovery.
To make all this more concrete, the blog includes a really helpful example. It's fictional, but very relatable. An Ava Mind user named Sam, who is feeling stuck, burnt out, and then used strengths discovery to find a new path.
Yeah, this case study is great because it captures a feeling so many people experience. Sam starts out feeling completely uninspired, drained by their job, disconnected from any sense of purpose, just going through the motions.
That feeling of being stuck in a rut, not knowing where to even start making a change.
Exactly. It's that aimless exhaustion. But then, through reflection, probably using tools like the ones we just discussed, maybe guided by the Ava Mind app. Sam starts recalling things from their past, activities that genuinely brought energy and satisfaction.
Not necessarily work tasks.
Often not. Sam remembered things like being deeply curious, loving to learn, enjoying helping others understand things, maybe tutoring classmates, mentoring new colleagues, writing articles just for the fun of it.
Things that might have seemed like hobbies or just things I do.
Right. But then came the aha moment. The realization wasn't about needing a new skill or certification. It was connecting these seemingly random enjoyable activities to their core strengths.
So the tutoring wasn't just tutoring, it was...
It was an expression of kindness, maybe perspective, simplifying things, and love of learning. The writing wasn't just a hobby. It was driven by curiosity. Sam realized these weren't just side activities. They were expressions of their fundamental character strengths.
That's a huge shift in perspective, recognizing the gold you already possess.
It is. And the impact for Sam was transformative. By recognizing and embracing these strengths not as extras, but as core parts of who they are, Sam started exploring new career paths.
Paths based on authenticity, not just titles or money.
Exactly. Paths aligned with what truly felt engaging and meaningful from the inside. It perfectly illustrates how strength-based living shifts you from trying to fit external molds to building a life based on your genuine internal resources and passions. It's about finding work and life that truly fits you. 6. The ripple effect. How strengths-based living boosts mental health.
Okay, this is where it gets really exciting for me because the blog makes it clear recognizing and using your strengths isn't just a nice little confidence booster. It has this profound ripple effect. It directly connects to boosting core pillars of mental well-being.
Absolutely. It's not superficial. It triggers a cascade of positive changes. The first major benefit highlighted is that your self-esteem grows, and crucially, it's a different kind of self-esteem.
Not the kind based on achievements or what other people think.
Exactly. You move away from linking your self-worth solely to external productivity or perfection or validation, which is an exhausting way to live, right?
Totally. A constant treadmill.
Instead, you build what the blog calls authentic self-esteem. It's rooted in who you are, your character, your values, your intrinsic qualities, not just what you do.
It's more stable, less dependent on circumstances.
Much more stable. It becomes an internal anchor, and the blog explicitly links this to another Ava Mind piece, the connection between self-esteem and mental well-being, suggesting you can dive deeper into that connection if you want.
Okay, that makes sense. Benefit number 2, anxiety and stress decrease. How does focusing on strengths help with that? It seems counterintuitive almost.
Think about it this way. When you actively remember times you successfully navigated challenges using your strengths, maybe your perseverance got you through, or your creativity found a solution, or your kindness built support, you build confidence in your future self.
So it's like building evidence for your own capability.
Precisely. You strengthen the belief that you have the internal resources to handle whatever comes next. It doesn't mean challenges disappear, but you approach them from a place of, I can handle this, rather than, oh no, I'm overwhelmed.
You feel more resourceful, less helpless.
Exactly. It shifts the dynamic from threat to challenge, knowing you have tools in your toolkit.
Okay. Benefit 3, relationships improve. How does knowing my strengths help my interactions with others?
Well, firstly, when you know and own your strengths, you show up more authentically. You're clearer about what you bring, what your boundaries are, what you need. That leads to healthier dynamics.
Makes sense. Less guesswork.
And secondly, there's a really interesting effect. When you appreciate your own unique strengths, you tend to become much better at recognizing and appreciating the unique strengths in others.
So you see their value more clearly too.
Yes, even when they're different from you. You develop more respect for diverse contributions. It fosters empathy and reduces judgment, leading to stronger connections.
Less projection, maybe?
Definitely less projection of your own insecurities. You see people more fully.
And the final big benefit, you feel more engaged in life. This sounds deeper than just happiness.
Much deeper. The blog talks about feeling more in flow. You know those times when you're completely absorbed in something, time disappears, you feel energized, perfectly challenged.
Yeah, totally lost in the moment.
That's often what happens when you're using your signature strengths. It's not just fleeting pleasure. It's deep, meaningful engagement. It connects you to your activities, your work, your life on a purposeful level.
It makes things feel more real, more alive.
Exactly. It taps into intrinsic motivation. It's about feeling truly yourself, fully activated, and contributing something meaningful. It infuses life with a sense of purpose that goes beyond just ticking boxes. 7. Integrating strengths into daily life. Small wins, big impact.
Okay, so we understand the why and the what and the amazing benefits, but how do we make this practical? How do we actually integrate strengths into daily life? The blog emphasizes this idea of small wins, big impact, focusing on micro moments of alignment.
Right, and this is so important. It's not about needing some massive, dramatic life overhaul overnight. That feels overwhelming and, frankly, often doesn't stick.
Yeah, those huge resolutions often fizzle out.
They do. Instead, the blog connects us to building a new mental muscle. Think of it like going to the gym for your brain. You do small, consistent reps, little actions that align with your strength.
Like the approach in that other Ava Mind blog, building confidence through small wins.
Exactly. It's the same principle. Small, achievable actions that accumulate over time to create significant change.
So what are some of these practical daily practices, these micro moments?
The blog suggests several really simple but effective ones. First, a morning intention. Just starting your day by asking, okay, which strength do I want to consciously lead with today?
Like picking a focus strength for the day.
Yeah. Maybe today it's curiosity, so you actively look for chances to ask questions, explore things. Or maybe it's kindness, so you look for small ways to be considerate. It just primes your brain, sets a positive strengths-based intention.
I like that. Simple. And then at the end of the day,
An end-of-day reflection. Take just a minute or two to recall one instance, however small, where you used a strength. Maybe you used patience in traffic. Maybe humor diffused a tense moment. Maybe appreciation of beauty when you notice something nice.
just acknowledging it happened.
Yes,
Yeah.
because doing that consistently helps rewire your brain. You start training it to notice your strengths automatically, shifting away from that default negativity bias. It's a small act of self-affirmation that builds momentum.
And what about when things get tough?
Yeah.
In those challenging moments?
It's a powerful in-the-moment question. Which of my strengths could help me navigate this right now? When you feel stressed or stuck, pausing and asking, that forces you to tap into your internal resources.
Instead of just feeling overwhelmed.
Right. Facing a complex problem, maybe your strength of judgment or perspective can help. Feeling disconnected, maybe kindness or social intelligence. It activates your toolkit immediately.
And the blog also mentions using the Ava Mind app for prompts here too.
It does. Suggesting you could literally ask Ava, remind me of a strength I'm underestimating, or how can I use my strengths to build confidence? Making it even more accessible to apply these ideas directly.
So it really is about repetition. These small moments done consistently.
They add up. They build that new mental muscle. They gradually shift your focus from problems to power, from deficits to capabilities. It's a gentle but profound way to change your internal landscape and how you experience the world. It cultivates that sense of internal abundance we talked about. 8. Further exploration and resources.
Okay, so it's clear this blog post, Embracing Your Strengths, is incredibly rich. But as you mentioned earlier, it's not just a standalone piece, is it? The blog itself points towards other resources within the Ava Mind ecosystem. It's like a gateway.
Exactly. It's designed as part of an interconnected library of insights. The different blog posts build on each other, offering a more holistic approach to mental well-being. They reinforce each other.
So for example, the negativity bias we discussed right at the start.
That connects directly to another Avon blog called Overcoming Negative Self-Talk, Rewiring Your Inner Critic, which makes total sense, right? Tackling that inner critic is key to letting your strengths shine.
And the practical small wins approach we just covered.
That links naturally to building confidence through small wins, a practical guide, which gives you even more concrete steps for implementing that micro-moment strategy effectively.
And the core benefit of increased self-esteem.
Ties back to the connection between self-esteem and mental well-being, which explores that link in more depth. It shows how rooting your self-worth in your authentic strengths is fundamental to overall mental health. It's all designed to weave together.
Creating a really supportive web of knowledge for the user.
Precisely. Reinforcing key ideas from different angles. Outro.
So after this deep dive, what does this all really mean for you, our listener? I think the core message is your strengths aren't something external you need to chase or prove. They are already inside you.
They really are. Fully formed, powerful, just waiting. Waiting to be noticed, to be acknowledged, nurtured, and ultimately trusted.
It leads to that powerful question you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. What part of your authentic self, what inherent strength have you maybe been holding back, perhaps without even realizing it?
Hmm.
Because when you consciously choose to embrace those qualities, your empathy, your courage, your humor, your perspective, whatever they are for you, it's not just about feeling a bit better. You genuinely start to move through life with more clarity, more confidence, deeper connection.
It's not about becoming a perfect version of someone else.
Not at all. It's about becoming more of the incredible, capable, whole person you already are right now.
That's a fantastic takeaway. We really encourage you to check out Ava Mind's full blog for even deeper insights and practical guidance on everything we've discussed today and much more.
You can find links to read the full blog text on their website. Those will be in the description.
And if you prefer an audio version, that version of the blog content is available exclusively within the Ava Mind app.
And, of course, if you're feeling ready to actively put these ideas into practice, to really start integrating them, definitely explore the Ava Mind app. It offers more moments of calm, guided reflection, and that direct, personalized support for discovering and celebrating your unique qualities.
We'll be back soon with more thoughtful conversations and deep dives.
Until then.
Stay curious.